I have a friend of mine who it appears to me has developed a donut addiction. Now, here's the question for you all. Um, I'm planning to schedule an intervention. I want to schedule an intervention for this friend, because of the donut addiction. I want to know. It's going to be in the morning, so I want to know what do we have for refreshments? Like what refreshments do I bring to a donut addiction? I'm just saying.
And now, a whole new way to watch radio. This is the Dennis George Show. Here's your host, Dennis George.
Well, welcome to the show. We've got a good one planned for you, and oddly enough, we're trending in Italy. So thank you for those of you in Italy who are listening. Really thanks for everyone who are listening. We're week over week, we're more than doubling our listeners and downloads. So that's fantastic. So we want to thank you all for being out there. Mitch is in the house.
Buongiorno.
How are you doing, Mitch?
I am fantastic today.
What did you do over the last week? What's going on in your world?
No, really just working on the house. Starting to come out of this whole quarantine stuff, so I'm actually starting to terrorize my friends again.
Now, when you say working on the house, are you building a house from scratch? Is this like the cabin in the woods, or what's going on?
Oh no, I already built that one.
Yeah,
I'm just finishing my basement now.
Finishing your basement? Yeah, I finished my basement. I finished the studio, so I got out of the basement. What are you doing to your basement?
Oh, just putting a big old man cave down there.
Gotcha.
Workout room, pool table, massive home theater.
Nice.
Huge.
Has that been difficult? I mean, are you doing the work yourself?
A lot of it, yeah. Called in some friends to help a few times, but it's been a journey. It has been a journey.
Is it the
for the chiropractor?
The drywall and the drywall and the framing and all that kind of stuff?
All that stuff was easy. It's the mudding and taping. And oh my gosh, it's painful.
Yeah.
It's painful.
Yeah.
So
Sam is here with us. Sam, how are you?
What is up?
What's going on, Sam? What's happening in your world this past week?
So it was a pretty busy work week for me. So it was kind of hard to get anything fun in. But I did see our old friend Trish.
Oh.
And we went and had some Mexican, and it was a great time. And she's doing well.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be more of an update about that later. But other than that, just a little bit of volleyball. But it was a pretty good week.
For some of our listeners who transitioned with us from radio to podcast, will remember Trish was on the show with us also. And she's taken a little time off. So she's fantastic. And that's a good
But she's watching and listening too.
Yeah. She's stalking us.
She is. She is a stalker.
She is
nothing new.
Right, exactly. She actually absolutely has been a stalker. So that's absolutely true. Debbie is in the house.
Woo, howdy, everybody. And she's judging us. Don't forget, Trish is also judging us as well.
She has a ticket book. She writes tickets. I mean, she just does. I mean, I'm just saying, she's got the ticket book out and she is writing tickets. Yeah, it's true.
She is.
What's going on in your week? What's happening in your world?
It was I have to say, this was one of the most social weeks I've had. I had a brunch and 2 dinners with groups of friends. So it was amazing. Fantastic.
Super spreader?
No, not super spreader. Small gatherings. Small
gathering.
No more than 6 people at one gathering.
And now that's what it is in the United States, in Missouri, where you are. Did you go to restaurants or did you do this in people's homes?
2 were restaurants and 1 was in a home.
And when you went to the restaurants, I don't want to call out any specific restaurants, unless you want to, of course. Right. Did they participate well in the safety stuff?
Yes. Every restaurant that I went to, tables in between, some marked that we're not using this one. So you had to have the space in between the tables. You had to have masks to go in, only take your mask off when you were eating, drinking. Yeah. So I thought they did well with that.
Yeah. Now you're in a city in Missouri too, right? That has had, I read in the news, some restaurants that they've literally have shut down and taken their license away for a year.
Yeah, apparently there were some bar restaurants downtown, I think, that had that happen. And at least 2 that I know of. There may have been more, but I believe there were 2 that I heard of.
That's crazy, right?
It is insane, but apparently they were not following the rules. They had bazillions of peoples in there. It was just kind of crazy. From what
You
I
got
thought, I
to
didn't
follow the rules.
They were social barebacking.
Oh my word.
Oh, Mitch. Oh, Mitch.
Well, Missouri and specifically St. Louis has led STDs in the country per capita for many years. Do you
Why
think
do
that's
you
I
know
think
that?
we crossed
Why do you
over
know
somewhere, didn't we?
well
Wait,
when
wait.
Mitch was talking about
STDs?
Mitch was talking about the barebacking, so I was that's fair
Right.
that I
And I want to be PC here.
Yeah.
They do not call it STDs anymore. Do you know that, right?
I did not know that. What do they call
They
it
are
now?
called STIs.
What's an STI?
Infections instead of disease.
Infections.
Sam, how do you know this?
Well, if you really want to know, I have somebody that works in public health, and she is a nurse practitioner, and that's what she deals with is STIs.
Yeah.
But Dennis, why do you know that fact? That's why do
Well,
you
it's
know
just
that?
kind of one of the top 10 lists of stuff that's going on in St. Louis. And that always seems to be number one. So it's
Truth.
it's just
Yep.
it's a dirty place. I don't know. It's a dirty place.
Hey.
Right.
But it's a good time.
Denny G is in the house. How are you?
I am doing wonderful, but I'll get better.
What's going on for you this week? What's been happening?
Well, I was doing some super spreader stuff at restaurants, and no more than 10 people in our party. I guess that was a little edgy, but okay. And the restaurants seem to be doing fairly well and being safe. And I'm working on a patio. I just started that construction this week and helping some friends try to get their pontoon boat running again. And then, of course, golf 3 times. So staying busy, enjoying
Yeah,
life.
it sounds fun.
Are you someplace where there's water?
Yes, I'm in Florida.
You're in Florida.
Ooh.
And
Yes.
how are the restaurants there? Are people they don't really believe that there's a Rona thing happening in Florida, do they?
No, I'm in Pasco County in Florida, and they have mask mandates inside. All your retail stores and restaurants and stuff. And I mean, they're pretty much on it about it. I mean, there's other places in Florida that aren't so careful.
Yeah.
But Pasco County's not so bad.
So I have a little bit of a phobia. Like I don't like people who like hover real close to me. Like I have a little claustrophobia, and I've noticed now that I've got a way to fix all that now, which is that if people start to get too close to me, I just start to hack.
You just
Yeah,
Right.
It's kind of like turning the lights on when there are roaches. They scatter. It's just fantastic. So it's really a great thing. It really is. It's I wonder if we're going to hang on to that as a society.
Yes,
Yeah.
for a
Probably.
while.
For a
That could
bit,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Denny G, tell the palm trees I said hello. I miss the palm trees.
Oh, I will.
Clearly,
certainly do
I'm not
that.
somewhere that's very warm.
Yeah,
Clearly.
well, but if you could see our Zoom, and we do have our shows are on YouTube. For those of you that are listening to the podcast, you can go to our YouTube channel, which is Dennis George Show, and we always put our shows up there. Hello to all our
Like us.
YouTube
Subscribe.
but you'll see our backgrounds, which Sam has the ocean and a palm trees, and Denny G apparently has gone into some Egyptian crypt. So,
Actually, this is New York, New York, the Met.
Oh, really?
It's a
This is-
casino.
No. It's inside the Met. Inside the Met.
Oh. Oh, the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you said
I was
New York-
actually wondering where you were.
Yeah, he said New York, so that's like the name of a casino. So
Yes, it is. That too. Yes, New York, New
Yeah.
York.
That's where my mind went.
Manhattan. The
Right.
Met.
Right.
Mhm.
And of course, Mitch has got the dude is
Dude
with us
abides.
this Sunday. The dude abides this Sunday. Hey, we've got a great show for you. Coming up after the Weird People is really, really weird this time. We're going to talk about a guy who married his sex doll girlfriend. I'm not kidding. This is not made up. We're going to talk about that after the break. Stick around.
Justice
A
of the
new way to
plastic.
watch radio. The Dennis George Show continues after this.
The views expressed on Dennis George Show are not our own or anyone else's.
Listen at your own risk, and we cannot be held responsible for your ears burning, bleeding, or ringing, or the blurred eyesight.
Some things you will not be able to unhear or unsee, and for that, you are warned.
Do not try anything we suggest or talk about at home, work, or in your car.
A reminder, there are no rules, and our show is intended for mature audience only.
Or at a minimum, those over your state's or country's legal age of consent.
Any experiments
Jobs, skills, or sexual positions suggested
and or recommended
are for comedy purposes only and should not be tried without supervision.
or a spotter.
Safety word or phrase is recommended in advance of trying anything new.
Any medical advice
Or comments that seem like medical advice,
should be reviewed with your own doctor.
or at least.
Check it on Google like we did.
Thank you and good luck.
Now, back to our show. Here's Dennis George.
Now, it's really important in our political climate these days to not judge relationships and like not be judgy about the way people live their lives. Because you know what? You just live and let live, leave people alone. So I'm going to try really hard not to be a judgy person or a judgy McJudgerson. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
No.
I'm gonna be really careful about this.
Sure you are.
In Kazakhstan, a bodybuilder has married his girlfriend, his beloved girlfriend, after a whirlwind romance. By the way, they've been dating for 2 years. Almost 2 years. They finally got married. The marriage was delayed because of the coronavirus lockdown because he couldn't get all the guests to come
I
back.
hate that.
His girlfriend, I don't want to judge. I'm not judging her. I don't like labels, but she's
Right.
she's a sex doll. So now I don't want to put labels on this, but that's who she's married. That's who he's married.
That took
That's
a very
not a
left.
label. That's not a label. It's what she is. It's
Okay.
not a label. It's what she is.
But it is a label. It's right on her packaging.
That's true, man. That's true.
Oh, they come without labels.
Yeah, you can't have labels anymore. That's the thing.
Is that like your friend's hand-me-down doll that doesn't come with a label?
Oh. So Yuri Tokyo said his dues alongside his sex doll Margo, who was dressed in a flowing white gown and clutched a bunch of flowers for the special occasion. While Yuri
Did he have to buy the dress, or did it come with the dress? I wonder.
I'm guessing they went dress shopping. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure she got the bridesmaids together and they did all the typical,
I'm also very
Who's the
interested in how
bridesmaid?
you.
Barbie?
I don't know. So Yuri looked every bit the perfect groom. The couple went on to share a romantic first dance in front of dozens of guests who attended their big day. Yuri, who identifies as pansexual, we'll get back to that in a minute, shared moments from the day on his Instagram page with a caption reading, "It's happening," as he slipped a ring onto the bride's plastic finger. The couple got engaged in December of last year, the year before. Yuri saying their romance truly blossomed during the 2020 lockdown. Describing himself,
I bet it did.
Yeah.
describing himself as a sexy maniac on Instagram, he shared images of the couple's romantic lifestyle as they cozy up to the bath with one another and snuggle in bed. He writes that couples need to talk less and connect more. Now, I agree with that. I mean, that's true. You got to make sure you're connecting. With
Says
time and
the
experience-
bodybuilder.
Yeah, Margo, and he said Margo and he realized that it takes more than words to have a conversation. So we're gonna hang on, Debbie. We're gonna.
But sometimes a conversation has to have words. And how did you date for 2 years without words?
He says your partner sure deserves the best, but they have to do their part. Describing how their relationship started, Yuri said he met Margo at a nightclub when he rescued her from unwanted attention.
And he figured out where the inflation valve was. I wonder what the
Um,
bachelorette party was like.
That's a good question. Like, did Margo bring
Everybody got a turn?
right?
Yeah.
Hey, now she's married now.
No, she wasn't. It was the
It was the
bachelorette
bachelorette
party.
party.
He says his story is more than just sex itself. He went on to describe it to be more detailed aspects of their sexual quirks. He said that he loves being tortured and that he can endure quite a bit of pain. That's what he said. He says that he likes to also dominate. He said Margo is capable of what other people are not capable of.
Not talking?
Not using the safety word.
Held underwater for 20 minutes.
And she's still just a doll.
And she just keeps going. And
All right, we'll apologize to sex dolls.
Now, this is important. She did undergo some plastic surgery earlier in the year. Apparently, he wanted to. She wanted
She had to have plastic surgery?
No, she wanted some plastic surgery done to update some of her looks, and so he actually took her to a plastic surgeon and had a few things done.
How does she consent to that?
Right, exactly.
How did she consent to the marriage?
Right.
How does he know she said yes? I'm just saying.
She nodded.
Okay, and she nodded. Can I also say that there's a little bit of a problem here with this whole conversation? We're kind of fixated on the doll, and we need to really actually talk about the dude, because the dude is a bodybuilder. And I don't know if you know about bodybuilders, but typically bodybuilders have like self-image issues. Therefore, this is probably the reason why he loves her so much, because he has so many issues that she's willing to accept.
Time to start an apology list.
Yeah.
Next time on Dr. Phil.
Bodybuilders? Okay,
Bodybuilders.
fine. We'll add bodybuilders.
He did post a lot. I was intrigued. He did post a lot of photos on his Instagram page. Daily Mail in the UK did a whole spread on their honeymoon and had the honeymoon photos, and they were on a beach and drinking pina coladas and the whole thing. And he says it's a incredibly close relationship, and he takes her out to dinner and they go dancing and
Why? She doesn't eat.
I guess it's a pretty
She's a
inexpensive
cheap date.
Yeah, a pretty inexpensive date. I would guess so. You know,
Or does he just fill her mouth with food until it's full, and then you're like, "Oh, are you full, honey?"
Yeah, I don't know.
Not a good image.
But here's the thing. So now in Kazakhstan, legally you can get married if they're both consenting adults over the age of 18. So my question is Margo over the age of 18? Like,
exactly. What's her
what's
birthday?
the manufacture date? I mean,
Yeah.
I think
and they only dated for 2 years. So if she sat on the shelf for a year, so he's having sex with a 3-year-old.
But she can't consent. I'm still having an issue with she can't consent. People, she's a plastic doll. She can't talk.
He says she can, and there's people who, if you can't understand that, then that's your problem. But he has full conversations with her, he says.
He doesn't have conversations. Conversations mean two people talking to each other. All he's had is a one-sided conversation. Nobody's talking back to him.
He's having tea time with himself.
I'm with Debbie and Sam here, all right? For a whole separate reason, all right? He's a bodybuilder, which means if he had 2 brain cells to rub together, he'd be dangerous, and he doesn't. So he's not even having conversations with himself. All right?
Yeah.
Big apology to bodybuilders. Big apology.
Times 2.
But nobody on this Zoom told me I was wrong.
Yeah.
I don't. That's a generalization. And I actually do know a few bodybuilders who are not stupid. I'm just saying.
But are they smart?
Yes.
Debbie, you don't have to call me a bodybuilder.
I'd like to go back for just a moment, and not that I'm fixated on this part of the story, but I would like to go back to the torture part, where he says he really enjoys being tortured.
So he likes to torture himself.
Right. I just don't understand how that happens. He says Margo does it, but I don't know.
Just because you have, I don't even want to paint this picture for people. Oh my God.
Don't paint it. Don't paint it.
Oh, no.
Don't paint it. He's
Just because he's using her body to punish him doesn't mean that she's doing it. He still has to do it. This doll does not just like have a thought process and know how to move.
What I really want to know too is that now when I was younger growing up, I rode a bike a lot. And so I had a bicycle repair kit always at the ready because I would often get flat tires. So my question is, does he have
A repair
a
kit
repair kit ready to go? Because I would think there's plenty of
in case she has a blowout.
I would think if you're on top and you're going at it and I mean, is she into hot wax? I mean, I think there's a whole lot of questions here. We need to get him on the show, I think. Well, her too.
We should.
We should ask both of them to come on the show, actually.
Just
We
her.
should have them on separate so we can figure out how consenting works.
G says, let's just have Margo on the show. Okay. I like it.
We
I
need
like
to apologize to Margo.
because you're right. Because maybe we'd get the real story if he wasn't on the show, but Margo was. I'm gonna set that up. I'll tell you what. In the next couple of
Separately.
weeks, we're gonna get Margo on the show.
Does
I
she
can't
squeak
wait.
if you rub her?
Does she what?
Does she squeak if you rub her?
I don't know. We should ask her that. I don't know. That's a good
I
question.
think we should give
if
Margo
you
and
rub-
Debbie just a little girl chat time.
We should apologize to Margo.
Listen, if you rub me, I'll squeak.
Oh, she's
So,
on there. We'll do it times 2 for sure now.
It's fine. Denny G, if someone rubs you, do you squeak?
Anything you want me to do, I'll do.
See? So,
He squeals.
That too.
I'm not going to ask how you know that. So the thing is, it's an interesting story. The thing is, we all laugh about it because we're like, nah, this is crazy. But maybe this is real. Like this.
No, she's a doll. She's plastic. It's not real.
Aren't you judging right now, though?
Yes, of course.
People love their toys.
Right.
boys
But
love
they
their
don't
toys.
marry them.
But they don't marry them. Yeah.
Somebody
very
married
true.
Pamela Anderson.
Yeah. I want to know, like, does she have credit cards? Does she pay for the dates once in a while?
Yeah,
You know,
that's a good way to get out of some debt.
right,
Take out credit cards in her name because she's plastic.
right. Yeah. The other thing is that, if they go swimming in the ocean, he doesn't have to take a floaty with him. I mean, there's a whole lot of side effects to this deal.
Now that is nice.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Just
called
repair kit.
love.
And,
Who,
and he can
who
drive
married
in
them?
HOV lanes.
That's
Who
right.
married them?
who married
That
them?
is true.
For
We want to
God's
see the
sake,
paper.
Who married them?
We want to see the marriage license.
That is the person we need to talk to. That is the person. All right. Who had a conversation with
Margo and Yuri.
Dumbass and Margo, all right, and determined that they were both consenting adults and
Right.
put their name on the marriage certificate to do
And
the
he
ceremony.
signed it.
I want to
And
see the
who
wedding.
witnessed it?
I want to see the wedding video.
There's video.
I'm sure there is. It was a traditional wedding, and I'm sure there were bridesmaids. And did Margo invite a bunch of her friends to the wedding? I really want to see
Barbie
Girlfriends.
and
Snuffleupagus,
G.I.
Cookie
Joe.
Monster. There were a bunch of people there. I'm sure the Easter
Cookie
Bunny was there too.
Monster.
I'm sure.
Yeah, all the Muppets were there.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Last week, Lori and Eric Harmon were charged with indecent exposure for allegedly making and sharing videos of themselves having sex in public places, including the Sky Wheel. Now, you know what a Sky Wheel is? This is like the big Ferris
Like a
wheels
Ferris
that have
wheel,
the
but
big compartments.
ginormous, right?
Yeah, big compartments that you can do.
They're
and
private
then-
rooms. They shouldn't be looking into it.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you don't want to
too.
see it, don't look.
That's what I'm thinking too. You're in.
So they
you're
were-
in yeah.
they were making and sharing videos of themselves doing that in the public space.
Then
Had they
don't-
not made a video and shared it, they wouldn't have gotten caught.
Then don't watch the video.
Mm.
It's not about watching the video. It's illegal to do that in a public place. The
Yeah.
fact that they shared it and then the authorities saw this, that's what.
I don't know.
Sure.
I think I agree with Sam. The Sky Wheel is pretty private.
Yeah, you
Like,
gotta stay out of their bedroom or Ferris wheel, wherever your bedroom may lay.
But other people will be in that same Skywheel compartment. So therefore,
They should have. They need to get more. Oh, you're saying like in the same room, like in the same like carrier.
Like
So
there
they-
were other people in the carrier with them.
I hope not.
That would be
Right, that would be
awkward.
weird.
They did make
But
other
if they're
videos.
not, then they just need to have more fun people so they can keep themselves busy in their own.
They did make other videos. They have one of them. They're in a public pool. I did look for this video. They said that they made a couple of them on vending machines. I did try to find that video. I was not successful. And
Did they get some free chips?
And Debbie, for you, apparently they were listening to the show because they also made one inside of an elevator. So apparently they were listening to the show a couple weeks ago and took your tip, Debbie.
Gave it a whirl.
No. I want to state for the record that was not on the list. That was something that a listener sent in the week after.
I
said
thought
Oh, that is
Yeah.
right.
that's
Said
right. I
I'm
thought that was your.
surprised that this
Oh.
did not make the list.
Oh, I thought that was one of your tips.
No, they were
Oh.
not tips. They were not things not to do. Not to do.
Oh, I thought they were tips. Oh, all right.
This is why I can't take you anywhere.
All right, fine. Fine.
That's the only reason. You're not gonna
Finally,
list.
in Weird People news, Dateline Russia, because we do have some listeners in Russia, by the way, leaked photos and floor plans of Putin's $1 billion palace. This is where he lives.
Ooh.
By the way, it's right on the edge of the Black Sea, and it's a 17,000 acre home. Now, I'm used to reading square foot home, but this is 17,000 acres.
Like
Acres.
the lot or the house.
That it just says 17,300 acre home. That just seems it's got to be a
It's
lot.
got to be a lot.
Yeah, that's gotta be the
that's
lot.
yeah. Anyway, so
That is a lot.
his
Mhm.
his palace has a theater in it, which that seems pretty logical. A casino. It has a casino in it. Now I want to know if it's your casino, do you win? Like I would
course.
be like,
Right.
I would be
House
like,
always
House-
wins.
The
I
house
get it.
always wins.
right, but I said go to the casino, I'd be like, damn it, I lost tonight. It's like what?
It would be so dull and boring to go to a casino by yourself in
Right.
that big of a home.
Oh no, the article talks about he brings people in. So so it's fully packed and stuff.
So instead of
and
arresting them and
he
stealing
has-
their money, he
He
just
has an
invites them
ice
over.
rink. He has an ice rink, and he also has a strip club. This is all in his house.
Kind
Well,
of
of course
sounds like
he
a
does.
mall.
Right.
Yeah, an arcade and a spa. He also has in there.
See, this is how he needs to get rid of his
Definitely
political
a mall.
opponents. All right. Instead of, arresting them, invite them over for a weekend or 5. They'll spend all their money and it'll be his.
It's a good point. He's basically you're right, you all. He built a mall that he lives at. That's really what he's done.
Yeah.
That's really what he's done. That's the way we should do that. Anyway, that's our weird people news. Debbie's top 10 list is coming up next. Stick around.
Find us online at Pornhub. Sorry, wrong site. Find us online at DennisGeorgeShow.com.
Hey there, catch us 24/7 on social media. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Good Pods. On Alexa and Google Assist, say, play Dennis George Show podcast.
If you have a question or comment, send us an email at podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. Or if you're just looking for a date. If we read your question or comment on the show, we'll send you a Dennis George Show t-shirt. That's podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. Now back to the show.
I'd like to add Debbie to the apology list, Sam, if you could go ahead and add her, because each
Okay.
time we do one of these, I really have been, I became confused because it's true. I thought the top 10 list was recommendations, but it's not. It's just purely a top 10 list. So these are not necessarily things to do. So, Debbie, what's your top 10 list that you got for us this time around?
So my top 10 list was actually sent in to us by my brother.
Oh.
So thank you, Ed. Appreciate tip my hat to you. Hopefully
Thanks, Ed.
he's listening this week. Yeah. Cross our finger he's listening.
Alright.
Anyways, so before we get into the top 10, the list is the weirdest town name. So I want to two honorable mentions that I would like to bring up because they made me laugh and they did not make the top 10. So they
Aw.
are, I know it's kind of sad, but it's honorable mentions. For certain, Kentucky. That's one of my honorable mentions.
What
The
was it
other,
again?
Hell for certain, Kentucky.
Hell for certain,
Hell
Kentucky.
for certain, Kentucky.
Mitch
In case you were
McConnell lives there.
questioning, this is hell for certain. And the other one is Satan's Kingdom, Massachusetts. Those are two honorable mentions. I didn't know Satan would be so far north. Huh? Who knew? Who knew?
Right.
All right. At number 10, we have Dead Horse, Alaska.
Why? So you've already done the two honorable mentions, and your first one is Dead Horse, Alaska. I've already noticed a trend just in the three there that you've named. They all seem like they relate very well to the state. Like if Satan had a place,
Right.
it would definitely be in Massachusetts. If there were dead horses, it would definitely be Alaska. It just seems to me
Yes.
that
Add
these
to the
seem,
apology list.
yeah.
Alaska.
But why
Every
would
state
Satan
in
have?
the United States. Just put
Kentucky.
it in. Every state
All right.
in the United
I mean,
States.
I mean, Satan would have his place in Massachusetts, but hell would be in Kentucky.
Massachusetts.
I mean, I think that's accurate.
Well,
But,
Dead
you know, I
Horse,
mean, why? That's
Alaska.
a
Oh,
really
sorry.
long commute.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dead Horse, Alaska's got a glue factory.
See?
For sure they do. For sure they do.
Elmers.
That's right.
We're gonna apologize to Glue.
All right, Debbie, what's
Jello
number
made up there?
9?
Number 9 is Greasy Corner, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Hmm.
For those
I think it is. I think that is accurate.
cousin humping.
Yeah.
What am I on? 10, 9, 8, 7 is Forks of Salmon, California.
Yeah.
I
Forks
would
of
want a fork
salmon.
for salmon.
See?
But it's Forks of Salmon. So
They should change the name.
Forks
for
for
salmon.
salmon. I
And
like
what's
it.
the state?
California.
California.
We should send
Yeah.
them a note. We should send
We
the city
have
a note.
decided that
decided.
you need to change your town
We have
name.
decided that really it should be Forks for, not Forks of. Next is Nowhere, Colorado. Where are
Nowhere,
you?
Colorado.
Nowhere. I'm
I've
nowhere.
been there.
So that fits.
Have you really been there, Denny G?
No,
No.
nowhere.
Where are you going? Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere at
His
all.
favorite answer.
Probably
All right.
drove through it.
Right.
Denver.
The next
I mean,
one.
not Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. The next one is Buttsville, New Jersey.
See, that fits.
Yeah, that's totally
I like
fine.
that. I would live in Buttsville.
Yeah. Of course you would.
I'm kind of a butt guy.
I have so many
Wait
things
for
to
it,
say,
wait
but I'm
for it,
not
come
going
on.
to say any of them.
Oh my God.
I know you too well, Sam. I'm not going to say any of them. Next, this is going to garner a lot of comments. I guarantee it. Blue Ball, Delaware.
Yeah.
Don't live there.
Yeah. That makes
Don't
sense.
go there.
That makes
God,
sense.
that's awful. Poor Blue Ball, Delaware.
Yeah, where do you live? I live in Blue Ball.
I live in Blue
I
Ball.
just don't.
What's the?
I would
Blue Ball.
move. Where were you born? Blue Ball.
Blue Ball.
I'm
so
Get the
sorry.
hell out of there.
Apologize.
Maybe.
Oh, I got him on there.
I just don't see, like, okay, let's say you have a dating app going and you're swiping left and right, determining who you want to go
Right.
out with, and you come across the profile and asks where you're located, and you're located in Blue Ball. I think you just pass that one. I just think you're like,
Right.
nope, not
I
going to
mean,
do
they
that.
would have to be like an 11 on a 10 scale to not.
Listen, I'm going to swipe right, and I'm going to stick with Forking, California. And I'm just going to stick with that. Oh, it's Forking Salmon. Whatever.
I mean, I would
Damn it.
always
Salmon.
Oh, all right.
swipe on forks of salmon. All right.
Okay.
All right. The next one.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh, no. It's the spin.
she froze up, and she is frozen up completely.
It's like,
Dennis.
say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dennis,
Yeah.
what is you were talking earlier in the show, and I just thought of it. You were talking about the donut intervention. What is that about?
What do you mean? What is it about? I just think that I've got a good friend who needs an intervention because this person gets donuts all the time.
You know, take donut holes and some mimosa with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So I've actually been listening to Debbie's list, and like I've I've got a few others actually. So where I went to college, it was very close to this town in Georgia that was called Climax.
Yeah.
Climax, Georgia.
Yes.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that one. I think that's the best one.
Oh,
It's
no,
so positive.
I think it's fantastic because like there'd be a sign on the interstate when we were going to Atlanta, and I just look at my friends. This is where you get off.
Yeah.
There's a town called Climax. It's up in the center of the country up north. I think it's Wisconsin. The same thing, you know, you drive down the road, you see that sign, and of course, all those little things come to mind. But anyway,
Right.
yes.
I always
No.
think it's interesting whenever I drive through. I think it's Santa Claus, Indiana.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, that's so weird. Why did they name a town Santa Claus?
Yeah. Well, I think they capitalized on Christmas. I have a few more on her list here. Fluffy Landing, Florida.
Oh,
That's kind of interesting.
I haven't been there, but that sounds appropriate.
hmm
Sounds pillowy.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to have a landing, you might as well have a fluffy
Exact-
landing.
right, exactly.
Right. Right.
So what did you hear me say fluffy landing and what my question was?
No,
No, we just moved on to fluffy landing. Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, little technical difficulties here. I
Yeah,
don't know.
your internet is just fantastic over there. What are you using? Verizon?
Dial up. She's
Oh,
using
add them.
dial up.
Add them to the.
We'll add
to
Verizon.
the apology list. Yeah.
Like I can't tell if Debbie's mad at me or if her internet froze again.
No, I'm mad. I'm mad. Trust, I am mad.
It's that high speed fiber T1 she had installed that's working really well.
I do have fiber. I
know.
rebooted my router and everything for this.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm making fun of it.
You know what? You can kiss my lily white dog.
All right.
We're gonna apologize to Debbie again.
All right, so we're done with fluffy landing. I can go to the next one. Yes.
Yeah, go to the next one. Go.
Volcano, Hawaii.
See, that fits. It completely
that makes
fits.
sense, right?
Yeah, completely. Hey, you want to have dinner? Where you want to meet? Let's meet in Volcano. No, I'll meet you in Fluffy Landing.
I'm gonna go ahead and add them to the list.
Or you know what? After we have dinner in Fluffy Landing, let's go to Buttsville.
I like
Wait.
Buttsville.
You should have dinner in Greasy Corner, Arkansas.
You know the food's there good is there. You know the food is really good there. Hey, so do you know what Scrapple is?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing, Dennis.
Yeah, tell us what
Scrabble
Scrapple is.
or Scrapple?
Scrapple. Denny
No,
G,
I have no idea what it
you,
is.
You know in Greasy Corner they got Scrapple. What's Scrapple, Denny G?
Scrapple, if you think about when they grill stuff up at a breakfast place and they, sausages and all that kind of thing, burgers, whatever, all the charred remnants that are left on the grill, they scrape
On the
that
grill.
up and that's Scrapple. And they actually serve that. And it's really, really terrible.
You tried this.
Oh, I
It's
like
really-
that kind of stuff, but no, it was not good.
It wasn't
What
good.
is the cost on something like that?
It wasn't expensive. That's like drinking a rail here. I don't know if you ever did that either.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh yeah.
I did challenge someone to drink the rail once at a bar. Yeah,
And did they?
they did. They did.
Oh,
They
it's
were
one thing
really
you don't want to hang out with.
well. They were incredibly intoxicated, so I don't think they really realized what I was telling them to do.
They did the next day. They were like, God help me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, that's basically what a Long Island tea is, right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's a cement mixer.
maybe.
Yeah, but way better in proportions, which make it taste better.
Right.
No, we're maybe talking different stuff. I'm talking about the mat at the end of the day at a bar. You
Yeah.
dump that into a
Oh,
glass.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
We're talking the same
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
That's true. Could be.
It's not
everything.
just, yeah, I was going to say, it's not just anything, it's everything.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
What else you got, Debbie?
Number one on the
We're
top
ready.
10. Here we go. I know. Little drum roll. Bacon Level, Alabama.
Ooh.
Bacon
Bacon
level?
level.
Bacon Level.
Ooh, Bacon
like-
level.
Like you reach level 8 and then you hit Bacon level.
I
Level.
want to live
So
there.
it's like bacon level 8, bacon level Alabama.
Yeah.
That's another town name. I would actually say they should change it to just say Bacon, Alabama.
Bacon on the
Just
beach.
Bacon, Alabama. And that's another
Mm.
place. I'll bet they have places that serve really a lot of bacon.
I would hope.
Yeah, I
They're
would think
famous
so.
for it.
Candied.
Yeah, well, Debbie, thank you for that.
breakfast.
That's pretty good. Weird town names. Some of those towns I don't know that I'd want to live in. I don't know that I'd stick around.
Or
You know,
Blue
if I
Balls,
yeah, if I
Delaware.
wouldn't want to move.
They
Like
may be nice.
they may be really,
They may
really
be
nice
beautiful,
places.
They
yeah.
probably are. They probably just have those names so people don't want to
go
move
there,
there.
It's like the whole
Right.
Greenland,
Yes.
Iceland trick by the
Secret
Vikings.
hideaway.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, like along the coastline in Oregon, terrible Oregon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
We're
actually,
not
there's a
moving to
place,
terrible.
No.
in the Antarctic that's actually called Apocalypse Peak.
Apocalypse Peak. Yeah.
Like,
That's
It's
crazy.
a fitting name though for there, to
yeah.
be honest.
Yeah. Thank you, Debbie. Drug side effects. Mitch, what do you have for us? What do you have for us this week?
So there are a couple of antidepressants out there. Lithium, sertraline. Sorry, that's a hard one to get out. And trazodone that have a common side effect of priapism.
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 What is that?
That is a permanent and painful erection.
No.
Yes.
Ew.
So I mean, like, if you aren't,
How depressed are you that you have to take this pill and with that possible side effect?
well, I mean, I think that that's only going to add to your depression. All right, that you can't get rid of this painful erection. You're
Yeah.
walking around with a pitch tent all day.
Oh, I'm
Can
not
you
doing that.
imagine it?
No.
Like at first
No.
you're like, wow, this is great. I always have a hard on.
Ugh,
And then after a while you're like,
You're
How do
knocking
I
the
get it
lamps
to
off the
stop?
table. And
knocking
Like,
lamps
dude, your
off.
shift's over. You can go home now, right?
Right.
And I mean, then you think about, like, how they get rid of that.
No.
tell us, Mitch, how do they get rid of
No,
that?
please, no.
I mean, the same way
please.
they get maple syrup, they gotta, hammer into it and tap it.
No. Stop.
And how do they do that?
No. Why do you have to ask that question?
With a
With a
really
needle?
long syringe.
Oh, no.
hey, that's a dangerous
Hey.
condition.
Oh, that's
Hey.
awful. That's
It's good to have the warning label.
Ugh.
I just,
Uh,
The collective cringe from all of you is hysterical to me. Sorry.
I think I handled
apologize.
it pretty good.
I just can't. I would really not take that. I would talk to my doctor and I would say, look, those side effects I'm not willing to risk. I'm not willing to risk those side effects. So no. Find
Yeah, but
something
what's the percentage of that happening?
Oh no.
I don't know. I don't want to find out.
Too much.
Yeah.
I mean, one
it
of
was
the
enough that they mentioned it.
I mean, it's anti-anxiety medication, right? But I would think that with the possible things, I would be like, no, that's just.
I think that would give you more anxiety, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
After you get there?
Or more depression. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Particularly when they take the knife out.
Oh.
Are they gonna cut it off, Denny G?
No, they got to do something to get the blood out of there,
Oh my God. Okay, that's it. We're cutting this one off.
No, don't do that.
We continue to get lots of listener emails. Stick around. We're gonna do that when we come back.
It's a whole new way to watch radio. The Dennis George Show continues after this.
Have you all heard of Good Pods? Check it out because it's so good. It's a one-stop app for finding podcasts and sharing them with friends. You get it on the Apple Google Play Store. It's like Goodreads or Instagram or Twitter, but for podcasts. You can follow friends and influencers and see what they're listening to. Good Pod saves you from ever having to search to find interesting podcasts to listen to. And don't forget to follow Dennis George Show. We're on there. Simply search Dennis George Show, Good Pods on the app and Google Play Store.
Hey, this is Mitch from The Dennis George Show. If you have a question, comment, new sexual position, things I should do with Dennis's mom, or looking for a date, or even looking for a date with Dennis's mom, send us an email at podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. If we read your question or comment on the air, we'll send you a t-shirt. That's podcast@dennisgeorgeshow.com. And now, back to the show.
So I don't know if I haven't gotten a lot of listener email asking for dates with my mom.
You're gonna give
Sorry,
me
you're not
crap about
connected
the
yet.
phone and you're still using dial-up.
I was about to say,
Talk
we
to
can
me.
never ever say anything about Debbie's
I'm logging in to
internet
get
Right.
when you were using AOL dial-up. All
I'm
right.
logging in to get the show mail. It's fine. It's completely fine.
You've got mail.
Wow.
So from the mailbag, we have quite a few emails this week. So I was sorting through them. I did notice kind of a trend. People want to know a little bit more about us. So the first one is from Margo F. from Leeds in England. By the way, when people send me where they're from, please remember to tell me where you're from. Some people just send me the email. But I usually look up where they are because I'm learning. This is like my geography lesson I never got in high school because I'm starting to learn where
Oh,
things
God.
are. No, it's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
We need some people from all over the world so we can work on this.
Help teach Dennis about the world
Geography,
At
exactly. It's true.
DennisGeorgeShow.com.
at
It's true.
DennisGeorgeShow.com.
So did you figure out where England was?
I did.
Is that where
Good.
Scotland?
Good.
Yeah. So Leeds, England. Marlo writes, "What is your favorite alcohol beverage?" Now, before you say yours, we'll go around. She cites Pimm's as hers. Now, that's
Wait,
all
can
she
you
said
get
was
the-
Pimm's. I had to
Look
look.
the name again because you've given us two names. You said
So-
Margo and then Marlo.
Oh, Marlo. Thank you. Thank you. It's Marlo F. from
What are we
Leeds.
talking to?
So
We're gonna apologize to Marlo.
Margot was the sex doll from earlier.
I'm mixing
Yeah.
her up. Good questions. Marlo.
We're calling her a
Uh,
sex doll
I
now.
can't decide who should be offended, Margo or
Marlo
Marlo.
times 2.
Yeah. So her favorite drink is Pimm's. Now I had to look that up. Pimm's
What is
is a
that?
brand. It's a brand of a gin-based fruit cup that may also be considered a liqueur. It was first served in an oyster bar, James Pimm's Oyster Bar, in the 1800s, early 1800s in London. And by the way, Pimm's it's a liqueur, but typically you don't just drink the liqueur. What people do is they will mix it like into a fruit punch of a bunch of different fruits. So
Oh.
the ingredients might be like some lemonade, some sliced strawberries, some orange slices, some cucumbers, and some
So
mint.
you added to the fruit punch.
You add it to the Pimm's and then the punch, and then that's the drink. It's called a Pimm's. And
Yum.
apparently there's a couple of different liqueurs, but it's considered Pimm's number one is what she says that she does. But it's incredibly popular in England. By the way, it's considered their country's number one drink. She says, but that's what everyone drinks. So the question for the group is from Marlo is what is your go-to drink? You know, you've got to pick a drink. What are you going to
Right.
drink? Sam, what's your go-to drink?
I'm gonna open a bottle of red wine.
Is there a specific
And-
kind of red wine, or does it just say red wine on the label and that's it?
So I would say my favorite red wine is a Zinfandel.
A Zinfandel, like a
But-
red Zinfandel,
Yes, not a white Zen.
right?
That's
Gotcha.
different.
All right.
But
Okay.
yeah, I'm pretty partial to anything that's red.
Denny G, how about you? What's your go-to drink?
First one is Grey Goose vodka on the rocks or any other high-end vodka.
Can barely hear you. Say that again.
How about Grey Goose vodka on the rocks,
Okay.
or any other high-end vodka with 3 blue cheese stuffed olives, one for me and
Ooh,
2 to
yeah.
share. That's
What-
number one.
One for you and what?
Two others to share,
Okay.
and then ice pick, which is vodka and iced tea, and you can do that
No,
with
we only
lime.
want we only want one drink.
I don't
Let-
care.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the ice pick for a minute. So it's 1 olive for you and 2 to share. Is that how you pick up people in the bar?
That's not an ice pick. You
Oh.
switched. That was my second one, which you said I couldn't do, but now you're asking me questions about it.
Are those stuffed olives? Are those like your equivalent of like Mardi
So
Gras
no,
beads?
because typically when I get that drink, I'm having dinner with somebody and
Mhm.
I share that because people like olives and they like blue cheese, and so I'm willing to share.
Like a salad bar.
I'll go to dinner with you.
Yeah,
Right?
there you
Let's go.
But I got to do one more, and that's a smoky old fashioned with Luxardo cherries. That's really
Now you're up to 3.
I'm up to 3. Well, it depends, you know.
No. What is your go-to? Her question was very specific. What is your go-to? What is
Vodka
the one?
on ice.
Vodka. Nothing else. Just vodka and ice.
Yeah, well, with the blue cheese stuffed olives, if I can get them, if I can't get them, I don't do regular olives. They got to be stuffed.
Right. Yes.
So, vodka on ice.
If you can't get the blue cheese stuffed olives, do you not get the vodka drink at all?
Oh no, I do have them. Oh, I still get the vodka drink. It's the favorite.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Debbie, what's your go-to drink? If you got to pick one, Denny G broke the rules. But if you got to, he's a rule breaker. If you got to do one, what is your go-to?
Margaritas.
Margarita. Yeah.
I mean, you guys know me. Margaritas.
Traditional. Debbie, you and I had margaritas last night. It's completely true. In fact, we shared a picture of margaritas, and I almost felt like we should have gotten a second picture. I'm just saying.
When you do that, Debbie, do you call your tequila, or do you just let them do the rail stuff?
If I have the ability to call my tequila, yes, I will. But most of the time at restaurants, I'm just, getting whatever their house margarita is.
Yeah.
Well, Lee calls her tequila all the time because the other stuff is typically rail and it's too sweet and it's pre-mixed. So when you call your tequila, they actually have to mix it for you, and it makes it much tastier.
If I'm just getting a margarita for myself, I will usually call. But if I'm sharing a pitcher like Dennis and I did last night, then I'll just go with whatever they.
Yeah,
I'm going to say they were
rail.
They were fantastic. I don't care. They were fantastic last night. Now I will admit I had not been out in months and months, and I have not had a drink in months and months and months. So they probably could have given me, what do we call it when they pour it off the we just talked about it, when they pour it off the mat.
Rail
drink. But yeah, those margaritas were fantastic last night. Now, do you get the salt on the glass rim or no salt?
Salt.
Unless
it's a fruit or a sweeter based, and then I will do sugar on the rim.
Yeah, gotcha.
Smart girl.
Who doesn't like a good rim job? So, Mitch, tell us what is your drink? What's your go-to? If you got one drink, what's your go-to drink?
Big black dick. Neat. There's no way that you can order it with a straight face.
So, is this really a drink, or are you just messing with us?
It is a vanilla rum that you can only get in the Caribbean, and it's amazingly good. And I do mean neat. Like you don't need it with anything. I literally keep it.
You can drink it right out the bottle
and just pour it.
And this is what it's called.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big black dick.
Yeah, I want to know what the bottle is shaped like.
Yeah, the bottle is shaped like
Sadly, it just looks like a bottle.
But try to go into a liquor store and order that, and keep a straight face, and some semblance of your self-respect as you're talking to the agent, so I'm looking for a rum.
Oh my God. And more email.
Wait, Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis, what's yours?
Oh, thank you. So I would have to say a good Bloody Mary. But it's gotta be a good Bloody, not too spicy, a little bit of spice, but it's gotta be a good Bloody Mary. I had a get together. It's probably been, I don't know, 6 or 7 years, and we literally got 5 or 6 different kinds of vodkas and made all different kinds of Bloody Marys. Like we got bacon infused vodka. Now
I was a part of this. It was fun.
Yeah. One of the problems was we thought we'd just sort of try a few things. We started around 3 p.m. and thinking this was just an easy little deal. And I tell you what, I was so shit-faced in just an hour. It was, we consumed so many different varieties of Bloody Marys, but it was fantastic.
Now, can I ask you a question about your Bloody Mary, Dennis?
Yeah.
Does a good Bloody Mary include that it comes with brunch as the garnishment? It's stacked with a chicken, it's got bacon, it's got a meat stick.
No, I don't like any of that extra stuff in there. It's funny, like Denny G said, if you give me a couple blue cheese stuffed olives with the Bloody Mary, I'm completely content and happy. I don't need, they shove a celery stick in there. I don't need the celery stick. I don't need all that other crap they put in there.
That's because you don't drink your Bloody Marys very spicy. If you have a very spicy Bloody Mary, that's why you're supposed to have the celery, because it neutralizes. Oh my gosh, you have so many things to learn about drinking.
We have so much to teach him. People help us.
Yes.
So
Help
much to teach him.
Yes, that's why they also give you celery whenever you have hot wings, because it can
Oh.
calm down your mouth with the celery.
I like it
Celery
when
is
there's a
a-
Bloody Mary bar. So you know, they got all
Yes.
accoutrements there, and that Bloody Mary, you just
Right.
put in with
You can
the
make it how
bacon
you
in
want.
it, whatever you want to put in it.
We need to have a drinking
Right.
show. Like
Yeah.
we
That
need,
is one of
we
my
need-
standards
yeah.
for a good brunch is a Bloody Mary bar. You are absolutely right, Denny G.
Yeah, we
Hey,
need.
That is correct.
Dennis, do you do beer backs when you do your Bloody Marys?
What the hell's a beer back?
He does
Well,
not.
you get a little, you get like a half a glass of beer that comes with it, you know? So you get a Bloody
Right.
Mary.
Wait. I know what barebacking is. I know what a bar back is.
Uh-huh.
What the hell is a beer back? Is that like a guy who carries beer up the
No,
stairs?
It's a small glass of beer that comes with a Bloody Mary, and a lot of times it's served that way
Why?
It's like a chaser.
because they go good together.
Yes,
So you drink your Bloody Mary, and then you sip your beer while you're drinking your Bloody Mary.
it calms down the acid of the tomato juice.
I don't know. I think it just gets you drunker. But anyway, it's good.
That too,
It's good. Just try it sometime.
So
or a
much.
bloody beer.
Yeah, I don't really like beer usually, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's why you just get a little tiny. So the beer bag's usually like a 6-ounce thing of beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much.
All right.
Now I want to drink.
Yeah.
Me too. I want a Bloody Mary.
Where are we going for brunch, boys? Where are we going?
Right.
Gotta be endless something.
Thank you, Marlo, from Leeds in England, for writing that email to us. Carl D. from Houston, Texas, wants to know what tattoos we have. Carl D. Now, the interesting thing, there was no more email. He didn't explain why he was asking, nor did he say what tattoos he has. What I found interesting in the way it was written was he wants to know what tattoos we have, not whether we have tattoos. He's just assuming that we all have tattoos. I'm just going to throw that out there. And I'll start with me. I don't have any tattoos, but
That we can see.
no, I don't have any. Not even, I've got nothing covered up. And here's the other thing. If people want to suggest what tattoo I should get, you can email us at podcast at dennisgeorgeshow.com.
Maybe we could do a tattoo party.
We could do a tattoo party. And in
I
fact,
love
maybe,
this.
Maybe I'll get tattooed live on the show.
Yes. Oh,
I would
I'm all
love
about getting
this.
tattooed on the
That
show.
would be
Let's do it.
fantastic. Yeah, I would do that. I would get tattooed on the show. Debbie,
We
what-
should do the show while all getting tattoos.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Yeah. Debbie, what tattoos do you have?
I have no tattoos.
None. No tramp stamp or nothing? Okay. Didn't know. I was just curious.
A tribal around your belly button.
Dennis,
Yeah.
I owe you a slap the next time I see you.
I think you slapped me last night, if I remember right.
You deserved it.
I don't really.
Was it a good time?
I think it was a punishment slap. I don't think it was
Was
a
it a
reward.
reward
Oh.
slap?
It was not a reward slap.
You were with Margo.
No.
You're right. Mitch, what tattoos do you have?
So I have several. I used to run track, so I actually have the Hermes foot on my back, and that's the winged shoe.
Oh,
Dennis, you're looking very confused.
did that help you run?
He
No.
blew like the wind.
Yeah, well, I run like the wind already. So
All right,
yeah.
so you have a tattoo of someone's foot. All right.
On my shoulder, the only real one you can see is actually the Chinese symbol to live, which there's a funny story about that. So
Or he thinks it says
I
live.
do know it says to live. I got it in college, and I had a few of my Chinese professors and people who actually spoke Chinese actually tell me it meant to live because I didn't want someone to be pranking me, like one of my friends in college did, where he got a Chinese symbol that he thought meant pimp. Turned out it meant whore.
I mean, it's kind of the same industry anyway.
Well, the trouble with China is not that there's trouble, but they have so many different dialects that people in some parts of China can't
Yes.
understand other people. So who knows what the writing's like?
Yeah. Denny G, do you have any tattoos?
I only have scars from knives and injuries.
Okay.
right.
Sam, do you have any tattoos?
Brute force.
Right.
I do. I have an infinity on my wrist. Can
Okay.
you see that?
So
yeah.
if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see that. All right.
And then I have some shears. I'm a hairstylist. So I have some shears
like
that are on
scissors.
fire on my forearm.
Is it
And
offensive?
then,
Is it offensive to call the shears scissors?
yes,
Okay.
Apologize
Yeah.
to Cheers.
shears for
Shears.
sure.
All right.
Not
And
apologizing
then
to the hairstylist.
I also have, so whenever I was younger, I mean, it's still kind of a thing for me. I have a huge crush on Justin Timberlake. So on his arm, he has a cross that's kind of, it's smaller than mine is, but I have that outline of the cross with an arrow that goes through it because I'm a Sagittarius.
Really?
Yeah.
As long as it's not dick in a box.
But I would be willing to take his. You
That would be a reference to a Saturday Night Live skit that Justin
Right.
Timberlake did. Saturday Night Live is a show on NBC. For those of you who are
should look it up.
outside of the U.S., you should check that out.
It's a
Yeah.
good
Great
one.
song.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah,
You,
it
you
is.
can probably find it on YouTube. Let's be honest. It's
I'm
probably
sure.
out there on YouTube.
Mhm.
So Sam,
Yeah.
there's a lot of thought you put into that tattoo.
Yeah, I actually have a whole sleeve thought up of, but I'm just trying, they're not cheap.
What's a sleeve?
So it would go from my wrist all the way up my arm.
Gotcha.
How much would that be?
It depends on if you do color, if you don't do color and shading and all that. But I mean, people pay thousands of dollars
Yeah.
for tattooing like that.
And how many
Like, for a whole
sessions
thing.
too? How many sessions you get and all
Right.
that?
So yeah,
Depends
all
on
just
how
depends.
big it is, and how much you can take.
right. How much
So
pain
Dennis, you would
handle.
have to do a lot of sessions for
Yeah, I don't like pain. I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Which
But
is-
I've been thinking about getting a tattoo, just a little one somewhere. Yeah.
they've got like gels that you can actually get I think it's called like Dr. Numb that actually numbs your skin.
Is it
Yeah.
like anal ease?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead and explain that, Dennis. What is that?
No, I don't think I will.
What is what is anal ease? Let's go ahead and explain this to people. We
I
just
was
threw it out there,
told-
just left it.
I was told, I've been
Okay.
told, I have no personal
Sure.
experience of this,
Uh-huh.
that anal ease is something you use like in sex to, ease any kind
Help
of.
you get a Cadillac and a doghouse.
Well, I'm glad that I'm glad everybody now has that
The reverse,
visual.
the reverse of a hot dog down a hallway. The reverse of that is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before the show started, I was asking the group how it was that we were trending 86% male in our listenership, and Debbie pointed out that this was probably the reason. So just
Yeah.
Topic of conversation. You're drawing in a particular crowd. I'm just saying.
It's true. Carl D from Houston,
Come
Texas.
on, girls,
thank you.
listen to us.
Yeah, Carl D from Houston, Texas. Thank you for the question about tattoos. We appreciate that. Sam has got our apology list.
Oh yeah. I didn't know with that noise. So
Right.
we're gonna go ahead and apologize to sex dolls because we were very mean to Margo times 2.
Margo.
She was on the list as well.
We're gonna get her on the show.
Bodybuilders.
We're gonna get her on the show though.
Yes, we're gonna apologize to her on air.
Yeah.
We have to apologize to our lovely Debbie.
Yeah. A couple times. I'm sorry.
We were really rude to her. Alaska, Kentucky, Massachusetts, for all those names. Glue, for animal. We're gonna turn the horse farm into glue.
Yeah.
Horses. Forks of Salmon. Forks of Salmon Town. Colorado. Oh, poor Blue Balls, Delaware.
Because if there's any
Verizon.
wait. Because if there's any city you have to apologize to, it's Blue Balls.
Blue Balls, Delaware.
Right.
I just underlined it really good.
Right.
Verizon, because you made fun of Debbie. That's why we had to apologize to her.
I was not making fun of Debbie herself. I was making fun of her.
Shut up, Dennis.
Oh.
Shut up,
Our
Dennis.
internet.
I'm done
Just
with you.
apologize. Just apologize.
All right.
We got to apologize to Volcano,
Hawaii.
Hawaii,
Yeah.
and Marlo because you called her Margo like 20 times.
Yeah.
And she's a very sweet lady.
I
She
am
just wanted
sorry,
to know
Marlo.
what drinks we have.
I know.
Who knows? She was probably going to invite us over and just wanted to be prepared.
I'm going to raise a Pims to Marlo. Yep.
And of course, we have to apologize to Shears.
Cheers. Of course. Absolutely.
We're
Well, that's-
sorry. We're
yeah.
very, very sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
That's our show. Thank you all, by the way, for listening and tuning in. Great growth, show over show. So keep listening. And if this is your first show, go back and listen to some of our other shows. And don't forget that you can also watch our shows on YouTube.
Watch us.
And if you're watching our shows, don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to like and feel free to comment as well. And if you've got a question, feel free to email us podcast@DennisGeorgeShow.com. That's what we have for you this time around. We'll see you next time, right?
Can't wait to see you next
Bye.
week.
Have a
Bye,
good week.
everybody.
Great week.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for watching.